All right, guys. Can you everybody hear me? Hey, what's going on, Corin? What's going on, everybody? Just want to make sure everybody can hear me before we get started here. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Friday. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Welcome to AstroWorld TV, guys. Friday night, I am solo once again, while Dan is still in Canada, hanging out with Ron and Sean and everybody at Starfest up there in Ontario. So I'm sure he's having a great time. So hopefully he's been able to get some imaging, or hopefully he'll be able to get some imaging done this weekend. I know that's been something about the weather maybe not being ideal. I don't know, maybe about yesterday or something, or maybe sometime today, but hopefully it's all good now. So it's all good, all good. Hey, I'm so happy to be here with everybody, hanging out, having some fun. Real quick, since I went ahead and put the work in for this, they were posting that maybe skies will be clear tonight. I hope so. I hope for those guys. I hope those folks over there at Starfest, they get in some clear skies and you're able to enjoy their skies on this new moon week. So hopefully they're having a great time. Hey, Cap, what's happening? So first off, let me before we get really going here, let me go through the sponsors. And since I went ahead and did all this, I may as well, right? Whoopsie. All right. So first off, want to thank our sponsors that have helped us out so much and supported us throughout, these years on the show. So really, truly appreciate their support. First off, want to thank out our main sequence sponsor, Woodland Hills Camera and Telescope at telescopes.net. Thank Farrah and the crew over there for their support and continued support for us. And thank you to our Red Giant sponsors. We got Prima Luce Lab, Camera Concepts, and Optolong filters. Dan told me that Optolong is going to be shipping out some more filters. So really looking forward to sharing those out with everybody and having more contests and raffles or what have you to or spinning the wheel actually, and getting everybody to hang out with us and spin that wheel and grab some new filters. So I know they've got some new ones that have come out. So we should check those out, and hopefully we'll grab some of those soon. Of course, Matt, we can't do this also with Masters of Pix Insight and IP4AP.com at the super giant level. So really appreciate Ron and Warren and Pete's support for what we're doing here. So I know that pretty soon they'll be coming out with another event. So definitely check that out. Check out what they're doing. So if you really want to learn and get really good at your post processing, especially using Pix Insight or even Photoshop with using IP4AP, check them out. Absolutely. And of course, there's Dan and his new his company, AstroWorld Telescopes, at the supergiant level as well. So supporting them and supporting us as well here for AstroWorld and AstroWorld Telescopes. And of course, all of our, all of you guys would make this really, really possible, all of our member sponsors. So if you'd like to become a member sponsor, definitely check out our Patreon membership and consider, we have different levels. So definitely big help out, shout out to our off the rail members like Sean, Bob, and John. We have our Quasar members. And we have so many other members, and so many different levels. It's crazy to keep up with all of them. So, but really appreciate everybody's support and continued support. We have our Red Giant members. Main sequence. Thank you guys. Really, really appreciate it. Our White Dwarf. And lastly, but certainly not least, our Protostar members. Thank you all. And again, if you can like to become a member sponsor, join our Patreon membership. We'd really appreciate you guys' continued support. So big news as far as what I just heard from Dan is that on Wednesday, Ron Brucker from Masters of Pix Insight is going to be joining us. Looking forward to hanging out with him. And I know that's who, Dan's hanging out with him right now. This was a great shot from NEAF earlier this year with Ron, Dan, and Nico Carver, and, me going in there photobombing it. I absolutely love this photo. So it was a great time then. Dan is still working on, and I know she's coming soon. I know she's been quite busy with getting ready for university and everything, but Helena Cochran from Helena's Astrophotography will be joining at some point this year. We're really looking forward to it. I've heard that she really she's looking forward to having opportunity to hanging out with us. So this will be awesome for when she gets a chance to come over and hang out with us for a little bit. And I personally am looking forward to having Mabula Haverkamp, from creator of AstroPixel Processor, coming. Is going to share right after version 2 comes out, the latest updates, and sharing a little bit of insight on AstroPixel Processor. If you have not had a chance to check out this software for your pre and post processing, definitely consider them, check them out. I think it's a great application. I've used it for several years now and absolutely love it. And don't forget to join us on our other social media platforms. We're here, of course, on YouTube, but we've also got our Discord server, Discord channel. So definitely go ahead and hang out with us there. Shoot your questions and answers there, and your questions there, and we will either answer them, or many of our members or within the server Discord channel, they'll be able to answer them for you. So definitely check them out there. Check us out there rather on Discord. We've got Twitch. Dan needs to update this for Twitter because it's now X, but we're also on Facebook and Instagram. So really appreciate that. All right. So let's get back to the deal here. Close all this stuff out here. And let me stop sharing. Sorry, guys. So we stop sharing. So hopefully everybody's having, hey, Mike, thank you so much for that cup of coffee, man. Appreciate that. So appreciate that. So hopefully everybody's having a great start to the weekend. This isn't going to be a super long show, probably not tonight, maybe an hour long or so. But I definitely want to get an opportunity to hang out with everybody, give some updates on the image of the week, announce our winner for image of the week tonight, as well as tonight we're also going to be announcing our July image of the month winner. So if you have not had a chance to go on to the website, definitely go on to astroworldweb.com and go to the image contest. I know, Corin, you had mentioned on how to actually vote. So I'm going to share my screen here one more time, just really quickly, so we can go through. And I want to make sure that everybody is able to do that. So if I go here to our image of the week contest, so you go to astroworldweb.com and you go to image contest. And right now you see the active contest here for, ending tonight. Don't forget, it's ending in probably in about it's 8 o'clock now. You know what? I may have to, actually, I'm probably going to stay on for a little bit longer because I want to make sure that we announce. So, because it happens at 9:30 and I believe it is 8:15 there Eastern time right now. So we're definitely going to hang out a little bit longer than that hour. But we have some great images here. So if you are interested, so if you like to vote on these awesome images, you just go to astroworldweb.com, go to imaging, the image contest, and you can simply select any of these images right under their, you select their title. And once you have selected their title, on the little radio button, right here where it says, is that your final answer? Click here. You will go ahead and click, and you will then be read, and then your vote will be counted. So far, we've got 12 votes. Let's go ahead and see if we can try to avoid a tie. Hopefully, we're not going to get another tie having even numbers here. So if you have friends, family, whoever that who enjoys astrophotography and enjoys looking at these awesome images of our night sky and out here and here in our cosmos, definitely share this link, share this website with them, and get out there and have them vote for these awesome images. All right. Yeah. So actually, the image of the month closed at 5. So that one is done. But we usually close image of the week at around 9:30 Eastern. So I'll be on at least until then. So yeah, we may go ahead and do our normal 2-hour event here just to I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity and vote at the given time. So yes, need more beer, need more drinks. There you go. Absolutely, Corin. No, for good shout out and calling out that. So hopefully that helps you out as well as everyone else who is new to the voting system and how we have things set up there on astroworldweb.com, and can go ahead and follow that, those instructions on how you can vote. So right now for me, I am still without my primary mount. I am using my Celestron AVX outside right now and working on the Dark Shark Nebula. I have had lots and lots of different issues as far as with the tracking and the guiding, but making it work. Hopefully we can get a new mount soon and square things away. But honestly, I've actually even contacted Ioptron, and they've even asked, just to say, hey, send it in. So I've even sent in the SIM60. So we are, so hopefully that'll get taken, we'll get that guy going back, get that up and running again. Depending on the cost of, dealing with the issue with the RA and everything when it fell. We got the wind knocked out, wind blown over. So hopefully they can figure it out and we can make that, and they can get that guy going. But I would definitely say, if you are in, making this type of investment, protect your investment. I will say that 1,000 times over, especially after my experience here. Protect your investment. Think about getting it insured, getting one of those personal article policies, and think about something like that. So, yep, Mike, the AVX definitely makes you work for it. I mean, I have gone from 1 minute, I was doing 5-minute images and they were working great. Then all of a sudden it has just gone, and I have been working on, I've actually whittled it down to 2-minute luminance and 1-minute RGB. So we'll see how it goes. By the time the show is over here, I might be able to go on out there and see how we can go it. Hey, Dave, love to know, what are you imaging? Let's know what everybody's imaging. With this new moon, we've got this great night, this great weekend. We'd love to know what you guys are going after. So share that information. I would love to go ahead and check that out. Yeah, I agree, Corin. If I could get it, if they can fix it or figure out what's going on, so it's all the better. But I am looking forward to getting some more details on that HAE 69, which is the newest ioptron harmonic drive equatorial mount, and seeing what we can seeing how soon they're going to be hitting the streets, and that's probably what I'm going to be leaning more towards. Still working on the dumbbell, but I've had clouds. Supposed to get some time in tonight. I would, speaking of clouds and everything like that, I would love to hear what you guys use. I wish we could do a poll or something, because that would be kind of cool if you could do polls within Zoom, because that's what I'm using right now to do the live stream. But I've used different types of weather apps, used several. I mean, let me see here. I'm using, let's take a look. Clear Outside. I know that's a popular one. Astrospheric is another one that I've used quite a bit as well. Of course, there's Clear Dark Sky, and I'm using Windy right now as well. Great. That's a great all weather website. And I've been using that a lot, especially because I like the detail that it gives with the satellite and the cloud views by hour and everything. So those are great for as far as weather apps. As far as my planning, I definitely use Telescopius a lot as far as for my planning, and as well as using my astrophotography planner from Charlie Bracken. If you haven't had a chance to check out Charles Bracken's Sky Atlas, definitely check that out. It's a really great tool for planning, but he can even, for I think it's like $25, make you your own custom plan. You just need to send him your GPS coordinates or your latitude and longitude coordinates, and he'll send you a custom one for your area, which is really, really cool. So yeah, so right now, okay, Mike, you said you're working on the dumbbell, but you have clouds, supposed to get some time in tonight. Hopefully you'll be able to get that time in. And yeah, I'll be really curious to see what others are using. So, you know what? Since we are just getting started, I think it may not be a bad idea to go ahead and announce the image of the month winner for July. What do you guys think? You think we should go ahead and knock that out? Just to let you guys know, there is usually a small delay, usually about 20 seconds from when you guys entering in your info into the chat for me to actually see it come up. when I see it during the live shots and stuff like that. So I only got quiet all of a sudden. So hopefully everything is still working here. Let me just take a quick look here. Yep. All good. So definitely let me know what you guys got going on tonight. But we are going to go ahead and I'm going to announce who is our image of the month for July. So why don't we go ahead and do that here? It's going to share my screen here again, and we are going to go to run all polls, and I'm going to go ahead and refresh. And let's see. Start date. All right. So we had 35 votes, which is awesome. We can do better, but this is great. This is a great number. 35 votes for July of 2023 for the July for our AstroWorld calendar. And the winner is Greg Meyer for his Lagoon Nebula. So congratulations there, Greg. Congrats. I'm not sure. I have to double check. I think you may have even won another month, for this year. So we'll probably have to take a look at that. And we'll talk to Dan as far as, which one you would like to do, for if you did win a previous month, which month would you like to showcase for the calendar? So definitely, but congratulations. And if that's but if that's the case, we can possibly take a look at Kevin, because he would come in second here for his Stars and Stripes for the North America Nebula. So we can definitely check that out. But congrats nonetheless. Awesome work. That was a great shot, great image. So well done. And don't forget, tomorrow at 8:00 Eastern, 8:01 Eastern, the new entry, you'll be able to submit your entries for next week's Image of the Week contest, for the one that's ending for next Friday. And so definitely, if you feel that you have a great image that you want to share with everybody else in the world and share with our AstroWorld viewer membership on our 2024 calendar, go right ahead and go to astroworldweb.com and to the imaging contest and submit your image into for next week's contest. And you never know. All you got to do is try. It is 8:01 a.m. there, Mark. So a.m. it will. So once is when it opens up. So you can go ahead and start dropping in your entries. Don't forget to please make them a WebP format. You can take a look at all the rules and everything there on the website. Just take a look at that stuff for information on what you need to do to submit your entry. And we would appreciate you guys' continued support. So thank you for all the love you guys have been giving us. And definitely, if you feel you have an image that you want to share with the world and you love it, yeah, you never know. We may love it just as well. So definitely share it. Has anyone had any issues with the latest Pix Insight update? Again, I still haven't updated yet, so I'm still stopped. I've heard so many things on and off about the Pix Insight update. And what specifically, I would like to know, Cap, if you can share anything, what specifically are the particular modules that you've been having some issues with within Pix Insight after your update? I did hear something about the Russell Corman exterminator modules. There maybe been some issues there, but I mean, maybe it just, who knows, maybe some of the bugs have already been worked out, but I did hear that a while back, but nothing, I'll be honest with you, I haven't done anything recently. So matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and see if my Pix Insight would just simply launch, or if it's going to ask me for doing an update. So I'm kind of curious to see here. Nope, actually, mine did not ask. Oh, it says I have 8 updates. So if I wanted to, I could do those. So yes, there were several updates here that I can see, and I'll even share my screen here. We can chat about this maybe over the chat a little bit. Gotta love sharing screen sometimes, you know. So guess we've got several updates for 1.891. Yet I did hear that Dark Archon is actually, they are being taken off. And we have a few for noise exterminator, a couple here, noise exterminator, star exterminator, oh, actually, and blur exterminator, and the GHS module, the generalized hyperbolic stretch. There are some updates there. So it looks like there are several updates here, and the 4X palette utility. So this one actually says it's unavailable. So maybe this one's actually going to be going away. So there are several updates. And if I selected them, but I'm not going to right now, I'm going to cancel it for right now. But very interesting, quite a few updates there. Yeah, folks had issues with the Easy Suite. I've never really used the Easy Suite, so not too much of a big deal for me. It won't ask you to update. You have to download this update from the website. Which update are you referring to, Mark? If you can let me know. Is that GHS you're referring to, or another one? Yep, I did hear about StarNet no longer being supported. And yeah, of course, yeah, and Dark Archon removing, going away. So yeah. And someone fixed the Easy Suite as a manual download in the forums. Interesting. Okay. Overall, the PI update, you have to do them manually, or it won't do the auto update? Okay, so they are working on a StarNet 2 update. Okay. Well, then you know it's coming, so it's all good. It's all good there, so that's awesome. But yeah, as far as imaging for me this week, I've been primarily focused on LDN 1235, the Dark Shark Nebula. It's that time of year again to go after the shark, and it's one of those that I would be curious to see, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10, 1 being super easy, 10 being difficult, incredibly difficult. Where would you rate the a dark nebula like the dark shark as far as your whole process of capturing the image, as well as your integration and your pre and post processing, rather your post processing more likely. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on how you guys fare if you do go after dark nebula like the dark shark, and how do you guys fare with those as far as your level of comfort, as far as imaging as well as the post processing. And specifically also with the dark shark, I've heard that it can be a very difficult target to capture. And I will attest to that. This was one of the reasons why I love it so much. And I try to go after it at least, every year, if not every couple years. Since I've started this, I have gone after it. And it's one of those targets where I would say, if I could say if it was, beginner, immediate, or advanced, I mean, you guys, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts as well. I would kind of consider it maybe upper, intermediate, or advanced in my opinion, as far as capturing it, as well as my post processing, really bringing everything out. I am in, I would guess you can call it 5/6 Bordeaux skies. I'm in suburban area, more of a kind of a suburban rural area in northwest and northern Illinois. So it's one of those where I guess I can maybe call myself, fortunate that I'm not in a lot of the skies, like say Dan is, being in Long Island, he's at like Bortle 50, incredibly, bright, as far as light pollution and difficult for him. I know that it's not one of his, the target that he would go after, be it his, where he lives, and that light dome being in Long Island and around, New York. So I haven't shot any dark navy, especially from yeah, Mark, because you are in, if I'm not mistaken, you are more in the Phoenix area, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know you're in Arizona, but I wasn't sure if you're like pretty close to the Phoenix area or not. But I can also see that, when you're in these metro areas, or very near the or very close to those really bright, city metro areas like a Phoenix or Chicago or Long Island or New York, it's these types of targets are probably not the best targets for you to have an opportunity to go after, at least especially if you're imaging from your backyard like I am. So it's not the easiest one. So in case you're in a Bortle 8, so yeah, I can totally understand why you wouldn't go after those. But if you are in maybe those lower Bordeaux numbers, if lucky enough to be in those areas, like, I don't know, maybe thing under 5 perhaps, and if you have had an opportunity to go after dark nebula, let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, because definitely, Dave, you are absolutely right. It really depends on how dark your skies are. For a lot of us who live in and around these larger metro areas, it's just not possible. So we have to either do things remotely. We've set up our system, or we use a remote service like a iTelescope, or something like that, to image these types of targets and go after them. But what, Cap? Anyone see okay, basically $800,000 house with land with 3 observatories in Pennsylvania? I've seen a lot. You know what? I've surprisingly seen quite a few houses, and land and everything, posted for sale or anything like that in cloudy nights. I think it's if you are in those areas and you are into this lifestyle, I wouldn't call this a hobby. I call this more of like a lifestyle that we do, being in astronomy and astrophotography. Yeah, it's probably an opportunity for you if you live in those areas that you can grab if it's a fair price and if it's a fair market price. You can go after these spots. But I have seen quite a few real estate, pieces of property, up for sale in cloudy nights, which at first I thought was kind of funny, but it would actually make a lot of sense. It's a sickness. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, Mark, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. The closer you get, the further west you go, it's times, especially in the Phoenix area or California, of course. Yeah, that's probably probably inexpensive compared to some of the areas like, of course, where you're at and stuff. And in California, I mean, $7.99 is almost like nothing for some folks. Yeah, Corin. I would recommend, if you have the setup and when you get to Barbados, check it out. I mean, if you're able to grab it, it's a good challenge for me. Dark nebulas are always a really good challenge, versus, of course, your bright nebula and your emissions and your other RGB type of images that you would normally go after, because of the opacity of the clouds being, so much thick, so much higher, sometimes you just can't. But the thing with the dark shark for me is always trying to make sure that I've got the image, or I've got those clouds and everything centered, in at least the prominent stars in the right area of my frame, because I believe there's 16 Ceph and 24 Ceph that are in or around the Dark Shark Nebula. I believe there's also a Draconis. I believe it's like 76 Draconis, which is more towards the tail end of the shark. But there's quite a few stars, but somewhat bright stars. But it's always about that framing, getting that framing locked in just right. That it can also be a bit of a challenge and make it very tricky when you're going after targets such as the dark shark. Year acquisition syndrome, aperture fever. Yeah, I can definitely feel about aperture fever. I mean, that's one that I suffered, and I still suffer it every once in a while, because I have an 8-inch Edge 8 right now, Cap, and it's great, but I always think I should go bigger. And who knows, it may come to the point where I might consider something like, I don't know, maybe a CDK, if it makes sense. Mark, what is the smallest CDK out there? Is it like a 12-inch? I know I believe you have a 14 or a 17, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe it's a 17 you have, but I have to also take a look at the on PlaneWave's website and check it out and see what their maybe a smaller CDK would go for, something like that. Yeah, see, Barbados and being Bortle 4.5, then you would have I think you would have a great opportunity to go after Dark Nebula there, Corin, if you have your rig, or take your rig down to Barbados and set it up in a nice spot. I think you'd have a great opportunity. 12 and a half. That's the smallest. Okay, cool. Thanks. But Okay, Tarek, how are you, man? I had kind of a fighting discussion in a forum because I want to get a 20-inch and people are just trying to stop me. I don't get why people would try to stop you. Is it because of the weight or something? I mean, I know a 14-inch edge is like a monster as far as weight, but I don't know. I don't get it. Yes, and I know you are in the Tarek, you're in the UAE, if I'm not mistaken. And do you have, and if you're in the UAE, let me know and confirm that. So, do you have an opportunity to travel to, further into, like say the desert areas to image? I'd be really interested to hear. Oh, because of scene conditions. Well, you know what? It just depends. I mean, sometimes, I sometimes say you do you. If you feel that, your condition, your conditions better than most, unless there are others who live in that area. But you would know you're better, those conditions better than, me, of course. So I would say if it's something where you're doing something remotely, um, then why not? But if you're in a desert area where you can maybe take that 20-inch scope and set it up, I would say go for it. But yes, I can drive to almost 4.56. Okay. Yeah, and Cap, thank you. So yeah, your local seeing conditions should be the biggest influencer of your choice of gear. Very true. You want to take a look at and know what your seeing conditions are for your given, for your space, for your area where you're going to be doing the majority of your imaging, and definitely take that into consideration under what type of equipment you have, because it's going to play a huge part. You don't want to buy the wrong equipment and be disappointed, because that would definitely be discouraging. So it just depends on, maybe for you, Tarek, say my seeing conditions is very poor to poor or average to above average. So it just depends. So maybe just depends on your given night or what have you. But you did say, I believe you said that you are if you're in the UAE, um, you said you can drive to almost 5 or 6, but where you're living at, I'm assuming it's going to be in more that metro area, like I don't know, like Abu Dhabi or something, or somewhere like that, where it's brighter. You have a lot more light pollution. Let me know. Um, so and if that's the case, yeah, you could definitely compete, because of the light pollution, but better your conditions best, and know what you think would work best for you, because I do remember a while back that you and correct me if I'm wrong, you've done quite a bit of planetary, and you've kicked out some really nice images as far as for planetaries. So wouldn't I mean, so if you're doing that, and if you're doing that in the area you're at right now, um, then why wouldn't a 20 work? I'm not sure, but okay, 6, 7 sky. So I'm just a little bit below you. I'm like, I would say 5, moving, creeping up towards 6, because there have been things going on in a nearby city in Rockford, that they're actually building a casino. So it's miles away, but still, it's going to get to a point where it's just going to get insane. So definitely, if you go after it, Mike, let me know how you fare, because that would and I'd love to see the image if you decide to go and do that. I live in a city, but it's not very light polluted. Okay, not heavy light pollution, but still in 8, 9. If I point all towards zenith, it's almost like a 6, 7. Okay. But one thing is that definitely, your sky conditions you're seeing are always going to play a factor into, the choice you make as far as equipment, or at least it should play at least somewhat of a factor in choices that you make as far as equipment. Dan and I just yesterday we were chatting about me looking at possible other cameras, and I then decided that I'm going to probably stick with what I have. But to give you the background, I think we talked about on Wednesday as far as pixel size and how important that is when you're talking about long focal length telescopes. And Mark, I believe you even mentioned that you were looking at planning on getting a 12 micron pixel size camera. And that's one of the things that I was going back and forth with, was I was looking at the Player One Apollo M Max Pro, which is their cooled. It falls under their sensor, their solar imaging camera, but you can also use it for deep sky. And I believe Kevin Rosso, he shared with me a image out of that he posted and shared with me on our Discord channel during a shot, and it looked actually pretty good for what he was using. I think he used an 80 or a 90 millimeter aperture scope, but we were going back and forth on if it would make sense for me to go for something like that, because it is such a large sensor. You're talking 9 micron as far as the pixel size. And but the other thing is that we were talking about is, as far as the downer about it, is that it's a 12-bit camera. And I have gotten to that point where I want to go, get like at minimum, a 14-bit camera, or, of course, or just get a 16, or else I'm just going to just keep binning, like with my 2600 or with the 533. Yeah, it is. It's a small, as far as the sensor, it is a small sensor. It is a 1.25. It is like a 1.1 inch square sensor. So it is quite small. And for you, with your CDK, and for, that imaging circle that you have with your CDK, then yeah, it's going to be probably way too small for you. But say for me using this 8-inch, I can't go with, like, say my 2600. I'll start the vignette, right, with that APS-C sensor. I'll start the vignette. So for me, having the crop sensor, at least with this camera, this scope rather, it would be fine. But at some point, I may even start thinking about, like I was talking just a second ago, maybe it's time for me to think about making, changes when we talk about aperture fever and stuff like that, and moving up and stepping up. The CDK14 has a 70 millimeter imaging circle. See, that's what I'm saying. So that 1-inch size sensor, it would make absolutely no sense, to get something like that. Absolutely no sense. So, with a CDK14, you're definitely talking full full frame. So it doesn't make any sense to go, with a tiny sensor like that for that type of a telescope. Absolutely no sense. At least that's me. Yep, and you're absolutely right, Trek. You know better. You know your sky limits better than anybody and than others would. So, but yes, with a 70 millimeter image circle, that's full frame. So, absolutely. Let's take a quick look here, because you know what? Sorry, I am really curious about that plane wave. It's driving me crazy. It's always about curiosity. Okay, and so with the 14-inch. And of course, plane waves, they are definitely advanced telescopes, that is for sure. And this is at a just over 2,563 millimeter focal length for this, for a CDK 14, and yeah, 70 millimeter image circle. So absolutely. And with having that carbon fiber in the truss, yeah, it's going to cool down and get to ambient rather, a lot quicker. So, is that something, Mark, that you keep as far as you keep it pretty much, within an observatory, you keep it outside, um, or is it something that you take in and out of your forget your set, you take in and out? Correct. The one thing that the RCs, I've always thought, looked at the RCs and they're really impressive. But for me, it's also about, and this is just my personal thing, it's about my ease of use for it. And with the CDKs and just like the Schmitz, when it comes to collimation, I only would have to manage to collimate the secondary mirror versus with a CDK. Um, I believe you have to do all three. You have to do the secondary, primary, and I believe even the focuser. You have to get them all set. So, okay. So thanks, Mark, for clarifying that. Yeah, I kind of figured it would be quite big. Um, so yeah, too big because I know you have that plane wave. It's like you have a plane wave L350. So yeah, it makes total sense that stays on that mountain. It's there. But yeah, I was saying when it comes to the Ricci's, that's one of my biggest hangups. And as far as the collimation, and sometimes I've even heard it's kind of difficult. There's some difficulties if you're going for the tube type of Ritchies, that you have to take them apart a bit um to get into to get that all collimated and set up. um that's the big thing. Oh boy, Charity's here. It's about to get moist up in here. We're getting a little moist up here in the house over here. Hey, Charity, how are you doing? I am doing great. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. down there in Florida. I think that's where you are, right? Charity is in Florida. So let me know if that's not correct. But we're doing good here. It's Friday night. No, I understand, correct, that it's not coupled with the focuser, but I thought you have to collimate the focuser too, don't you? You have to get them all lined up, if I'm not mistaken, or just let me know. So that's just one of the big things. And with the CDKs, I don't think you have to worry. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah, you're in Gatorland. You're definitely down there in Florida, down in Gatorland. My sisters actually live in Jacksonville. So we have daily, not I won't say daily, but now that football season is here, we go back and forth, with them being, in Jacksonville, and I'm being, you know, even though I live here in Chicago, I'm a Titans fan. So, but don't judge me on that, guys. I love my Titans, but hey, it's all good. Um, Chomp chomp. Yep, for sure. All right, cool. Thanks for clarifying that, Mark. Appreciate it. So, but plane waves, awesome. They're I would say your advanced level type of telescope, especially for the price points. You really want to know what you're doing when it comes to that, because that is a hefty investment. Depending on your budget. I mean, I can only, I can speak for me. That's a quite a bit of an investment. Yeah, Jacksonville's a lot of fun. Duval County and all that. It's fun. But don't tell my sisters I said that, because then they start giving me all kinds of crazy grief. So, like I said, so we're going to, in about 25 minutes now, we'll go ahead and we will see who is our winner of our Image of the Week contest. And for those who missed the Image of the Month contest, congrats. I believe it was Greg that won, Greg Meyer. So, yep, Greg. So congrats again to Greg Meyer for winning Image of the Month for July. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing your image in our calendar for 2024. I know, right? Me being, doing live streaming and stuff. It's so crazy, I can't, sometimes I still can't get over it. I'm doing this solo and, live streaming and stuff like that. Yeah, I still haven't gotten the whole thing down. Dan O'Hine and I will have to get this whole thing down here with the stream deck for doing the usual setup. But right now I'm loving, just doing this Zoom with the live stream into YouTube. I think super easy, and it shows some great, and it's just makes it easier for me right now as I'm, getting my feet wet into live stream. Norm, show us the image, please. Are you referring to um Greg's image? Yeah, let me grab that here. See if I can I'm sure I can locate that. Yes, it's the Lagoon Nebula. So let me go ahead. I'll pull that up here really fast and be more than happy to share that here. So, yep, just bear with me and I'll be able to share that with you. Let's see here. Yeah, here we are. And let me. All right, let me go ahead and I'll share this with you. I think, and it's a fantastic image. So congrats again to Greg. But let me share that image here. Here we are. There is the winning image for July by Greg. He used the Esprit 120 and the QHY 268 mono on his EQ6 Pro. So I love how the pastels and just the different images here that were really put together. So it's almost it's very artistic. I want to say, I don't know, call it maybe almost like a Van Goghish or something. I don't know, but I just love all the different colors you have here that you've got this all set up with, so very nicely done with your processing and your choice of colors in the color palette. So very, very well done. So congrats again. Hey, Norm, you never know, man. If you don't enter, you never know, man. You got to go for it. Yeah, I can show the others. The other images that were in the that were in for July image of the month. I can definitely do that here. Let me go back here. Just bear with me, guys, and I will show them. Because it was just the three. There were only 3 entries for it. So I will go ahead and share those here. Because I said, just bear with me. Let's see. Okay, so we have share screen. So we have here in 4X, this one, the 4X palette, the North American Nebula. And this one, I believe this was Stars and Stripes. And if I go here, yeah, this was from Kevin Rasso. He calls it Stars and Stripes. And this was in the 4X palette. I love it. It's like the fire. It's really, really cool. It's almost like you going down from hot level down to cool with the blue. So very nice. Oh, sorry. And what happened here? Did I close it? Yeah, I did. That was a goof. And then we have the nebula, Iris Nebula. This was from, I think this is Ernie. Yeah, Ernie Jacobs. So let me go here and I will show that one here so we can get a bigger view. Let's go back because I want to be able to show that and really in its. Here we are. Page. So again, congrats to Ernie as well for his entry. So very nice. These were great entries. I mean, I'm looking here and it's like how sharp the stars are and everything. I just really, really enjoy it. And the dark clouds and nebulosity. This is what I enjoy. It's going after, images such as this, or targets rather, because of that, because it's so difficult, because you see this opacity and nothing gets past this, no light. You can't see the stars behind it. It makes it a more challenging target, in my opinion, when you do these types of images. Yeah, watch for gators. Don't forget. That's for sure. Watch out for the alligators. Yeah, the Maui Nebula. God bless the folks there in Hawaii. Really, just a shout out to them. I know they're going through, and pardon the pun, but they're going through hell with those fires, and it's something I wouldn't wish on anybody. I know it's got to be rough. And I heard somewhere that how the reconstruction is going to be it's going to be very difficult for them, for a lot of folks there, because of the high cost of everything, trying to get things from the mainland over to Hawaii. It's going to, and as well as a lack of maybe workers, builders, things like that to rebuild. It's going to be rough. So I really feel for them. I pray for them and hope, everybody pray for those families who lost loved ones. I know it's not an easy road, to deal with that. And it's just rough. I just can't believe. I mean, I think it's close to, unfortunately, like close to 100 now. I think maybe eclipsed 100 if who've passed because of that. So it's something. It really, really is. Yeah, Pompeii. There it is. The third time's a charm. There you go. We'll be listening till I go inside. Yeah, my gosh, yeah, just incredibly sad, incredibly sad. I pray for all of them, those families, and for those lost souls. So, but Dave, you said you're running your filter offsets right now. Are you using Nina and the filter offset calculator, or is that what you're using to run those filter offsets? Nice. That's one thing that we were chatting about a little bit on Wednesday's show with Ron. But he was on his Edge 14. He's got an Edge 14 that he was using Nina and doing his filter offsets for his those for his that his new scope. And so I think it's fantastic that filter offset calculator. Nina has just been an awesome program. I'm probably going to get more and more into it as I move further into using like the Asato here for my Schmidt Cassegrain. And I just want to expand a bit more out of, you guys know I've been using ZWO forever, and they have been kicking out some awesome products. I've used the ASI Air, since the first version, but as we all, do when you get more and more experienced into like your profession, or like in our case into astro imaging and things like that, you want to grow, you want to move forward, you want to get better doing other things. So I think I will probably start making a slow transition to Nina for a lot of things. I'm definitely going to be using it for of course, like I said, the 8 here. Yeah, I think he is running it at F10 right now. And yeah, it must be really nice. But actually he's not far outside of Toronto. So he doesn't have, I don't think, the darkest skies either, Mark. Um I think he may be at a 7 or an 8. If I we can ask him when he comes on, because don't forget he's coming on Wednesday, so that's something we can ask him. Dave, going to do a couple hours on the Iris and then the rest on Andromeda. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Spell check a lot, man. Unless you're TVing travel. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. Um, and that's probably of course, that's one of the reasons why I'll not stray too far away from the ASI Air, especially if I'm traveling and things like that. But with the whole experience that I had with my Sim 60 and the storm, and getting everything and getting that knocked off and getting crazy and going through that whole experience, I'm really considering I want to build some sort of a structure, maybe even look at a sky shed, and get it somewhere, get my equipment, in a spot where I don't have to ever experience that again, and get it somewhere where it's safe against, the rain and the winds and stuff like that. So, and that's another reason why going to Nina would really be ideal and important for me, especially if I look at that sky shed, the Pod S, or even a roll off. But especially if that sky shed pod, the S where you can automate it, and you can use Nina within, in the ASCOM drivers and software to manage the dome's rotation. So you're going to need that. You can't do that on the ASI Air. Yeah, Mike. Definitely check out Nina. I mean, it's for me, it's been really cool. I'm still very, very new to it all. I don't use it regularly. Like right now with my AVX, I've got I'm running the ASI Air on that. I mean, definitely I could use Nina on there, but I just haven't. And but so far Nina has been really good, but I need to learn still even more, especially using it with, a long focal length telescope. Nope, and I totally agree. That's one of the things, Mike, is and I'm sure you may already know this, but definitely consider those if you have full moon nights that are still clear, but it's so bright that you can't really image effectively. Those are the times where you really want to start testing stuff out and tinkering around with stuff. Yeah. Are you talking about Hillary there, Mike? Tropical Storm Hillary? You can play with it in the daytime and get used to the setup. Then once it's dark, you can play with the focus and plate solve and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, it's heading to Cali. So stay safe for sure. About the only thing I've had trouble with in Nina is figuring out how to do a mosaic. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I've never done one mosaic, guys. I haven't even tried to do a mosaic. And at some point, I'm probably gonna. I've talked about it every once in a while about wanting to do a mosaic on certain areas, but I have not. Once you get that down, it's set and forget it. Just go to bed. I like my sleep. I need my sleep. The older you get, the more sleep, the more important sleep is. So, in this, what we do here, you don't want to. I spend too many late nights dinkering around or trying to figure out how to fix things and stuff like that. And it's like you waste so much time at that night. It just frustrates me. I know it frustrates me like crazy. Yeah, no. I hear you, Mike. I got family who live in Monroe, but I used to, and I've lived down south for several years, so I know how those hurricanes can be. Heck, I dealt with them myself personally. I went through, let's see, it was Charlie. I went through when I was down in South Carolina. That was interesting. There are simple ways to do them, but the way I want it done is being a pain. Yeah. One thing I haven't done, I even haven't tried it with the ASI Air, because even with the ASI Air, you can do panels, right? To do a mosaic. I haven't even done it in that. Yeah, no, it was no joke. It was no joke at all. I've gone through earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, um, flood, but I wouldn't doubt if the Navy wouldn't move the fleet out. you know, the ships that are around, especially in San Diego, you know, the Pacific Fleet, and move them out so they can keep them away from the storm. I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt that at all. I would expect them to. I mean, you don't want those, you don't want them peered up or docked up. You want to get those guys out. Yep, they definitely do it in Norfolk. They definitely have done it in Norfolk for sure. Um, I did mosaics with ASIR. It was easy. Yes, I mean, doing the mosaics and with the, you know, framing it all up, it's very easy. One thing, if you haven't checked it out, Mike, which I heard is very good, because I own it, I just haven't done it yet with mosaics, is consider AstroPixel processor. I mean, you can even rent it. If you do decide to do a mosaic, you can rent a year license, a yearly license for like $50, and at least try, you know, try it out, versus, you know, if you're using PixInsight or some other method. But I've heard that AstroPixel processor, one of the top things, one of the core things that they have really, you know, brag about, one of the really, I won't say a brag about, but one of the great points on APP has been how well it is to do all the stitching and everything when it comes to building out a mosaic. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, that's all about it. This is what all it's about, guys. It's about educating ourselves, learning, playing with these things, you know, playing with the software more, just learning, just consistent, you know, self-education, or you know, you got YouTubes and other um teachers out there to help us out with this stuff, because we all go through it. We all go through it at least once. You know, we want to try something out, and you know, there's people who've already been through it, and we learn from them. So definitely. All right, it is now 9:30 Eastern. So I think we can go ahead and we'll find out who is the winner of the image of the week for August 18th. So let's go back here to the poll. I'm going to go ahead and fire it back up here. Let me go here to Zoom. I want to share my screen. All right. So look here. This is for, yes, this week, for the 18th. We had 17 votes. So let's see here. Pretty decisive, guys. Congratulations to Chris Ferguson. Over 50% of the vote for the America version of the Eagle Nebula. So congratulations. For those who have not seen that, who would like to see that, I can go here really quick to the library and show you this image here. Fantastic image. The red, the white, the blue. It is awesome. Congratulations to Chris. Wonderful, wonderful image. Wonderful image. It was a great image. So I agree with you guys. Just an awesome, awesome image. I love the detail of, if we can zoom in here a little bit more. I love the detail of how you captured the pillars here, Chris. I think it's fantastic. very nicely done. I love the dark nebulosity here of, the dark clouds that you got here from M16. And as well as, over here, some very nice dark clouds along with the other nebulosity here. And of course, you have your pillars of creation, and you have it in that nice, very nice red, white, and blue style, that America style. So congratulations, very nicely done. And so your image will be posted. I'll post it tomorrow. Try to get it, if not tonight, I'll get it posted tomorrow on the website to feature it as the winner for image of the week. And you will be, of course, this image will be listed for image of the month for August. So congratulations, well deserved. All right. So, hey, that was great. That's a great image there again, Chris. So nicely done. Just got home from Idaho. Nice. Well, welcome home, Chris, and congratulations on your M16. You know what do you call it? America, the America version. My son says that all the time. Cracks me up, America. But congratulations. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. I love how you did that. Wine is good. Wine can be good. Robin tells me that quite often. When he calls for it, wine is good. Well, all right, guys. He said this wasn't going to be probably a full 2 hours. I did want to hold on and make sure we got everybody's vote by 9:30 in to make sure everybody had their opportunity to vote who hadn't yet. But this has been another fun show. Thank you all so much for hopping in and hanging out with me and sharing your insight and information. Really, really appreciate it. It's been great. It'd be nice to get Dan back, get him back running things for a little bit. But it's been a great experience. And at some point I will get this stream deck, get the stream deck going. So we can get so I can use the vmix and all the other stuff that we've normally been using, and I can learn how to use that stuff. So again, it's been awesome. I wish everybody a great weekend. It's been a great little staycation for me for this week. Been at home getting a lot of stuff done around the house, and I guess I am kind of ready to get back to work when it comes Monday, but I'm still not looking forward to it. But hey, it's all good. But everybody, enjoy your weekend. You don't need Dan. Oh no, I need my wingman. I definitely need my wingman. He's got to be here. It's got to be, But I want everybody to have a great weekend. Be safe. Again, thoughts and prayers to those that are in Maui and Hawaii. And if you're over there on the West Coast, like Mike, stay safe, with that tropical storm coming. And everybody else, clear skies, get out here. We've still got a few, still got the new moon week going. If you can, get out here, do some imaging and have some fun. But until next time, don't forget, we've got Ron coming on Wednesday. But thanks again. Oh, wow. Hey, got to spend some time. Oh, all right. Nice. Hey, Wayne. Just left Starfest. Got to spend some time with Dan. Nice, Ron, Sean, and Trevor. Awesome. Had a great day, Dane. Nice. I'm awesome. That's awesome, Wayne. That is really, really cool. Great stuff. Hey, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get with you very soon, sir, because I want to talk Sky Shed S. seriously with you. I gotta protect my investment better than the experience I had last time. So I'll be reaching out to you and probably in the coming days, just so I can start getting some ideas, you know. So be waiting for that call. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Really, really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. And of course, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I and Dan will see you next week. So have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you Wednesday. Cheers. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it.